The storm that night was relentless, rain hammering down like an omen of misfortune. In the village, hidden deep within the dense Congolese forest, the Nkisi and Nkondi sat in its shrine, a looming wooden figure bristling with nails and metal shards. For decades, it had been called upon to deliver justice, protect the innocent, or punish the wicked. Its presence was both feared and respected, a force that bound the unseen and the tangible. A man named Tamba arrived at the shrine, soaked to the bone, his face a mask of fury and desperation. His daughter had vanished 3 nights ago, and he was convinced a rival family had taken her as part of an old feud. He carried with him a rusted iron nail, long and jagged, a piece of his vengeance forged by his own hand. The Nganga stood waiting, a silent guardian of the ritual, his weathered face betraying no emotion as Tamba began to plead his case. The air inside the shrine grew heavier as the Nganga began the incantations, his voice low and rhythmic, weaving a connection between the physical and spiritual realms. Tamba held the nail, trembling with anger, before driving it into the Nkisi's chest. The wood splintered under the force of the blow, and the sound echoed like a scream trapped in the confines of the shrine. 3 days passed, and the village buzzed with unease. Tamba's rival was found stumbling into the village square at dawn, his body covered in gashes that bled freely. His eyes were wide with terror, darting toward shadows that no one else could see. He collapsed in a heap, muttering incoherently about voices calling his name and a figure with nails jutting from its body pursuing him through the night. By sunset, he was dead, his body unnaturally cold despite the tropical heat. But Tamba's daughter did not return. Instead, strange occurrences began to plague the village. Livestock were found slaughtered in their pens, their blood pooling into symbols no one dared decipher. Children woke screaming from nightmares of a towering figure with glowing eyes, its body quivering as if alive. Tamba, restless and tormented by guilt, returned to the shrine. He accused the Nkisi of failing him, of exacting its wrath on the wrong soul. The Nganga warned him to leave, but Tamba's grief outweighed his reason. He took another nail, this one shorter but sharper, and drove it deep into the Nkisi's face, demanding it listen to his cries. That night, the village heard Tamba's screams, a piercing sound that carried over the storm. By morning, his body was discovered near the shrine. His chest was caved in, as though struck by an enormous force, and his hands were frozen in a desperate attempt to shield his face. His eyes, wide and bloodshot, stared blankly into the void. The Nganga refused to speak of what had happened, though his face was marked with fear. The shrine was sealed, the Nkisi left untouched, its nails glinting darkly in the dim light. The villagers whispered of a curse, that the spirit within the Nkisi had grown too powerful, too enraged by years of suffering and misuse. Even now, those who pass through the village speak of the shrine with hushed voices. They claim to hear the sound of nails being driven into wood, though no one is inside. At night, they say, a figure can sometimes be seen walking through the trees, its body covered in jagged metal, its glowing eyes searching for those who dare to disturb the balance between the living and the dead.
Enjoyed the content? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more awesome videos your way. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay up